It is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. I'm back. It's your boy Smooth along with
Jobo.
Joe Bo. You sound so good with the new microphone. I love it.
Yep,
When it's
it
about
legits.
sports. When it's about sports, it becomes our business. And
Business keeps picking on up.
yes, it does. Happy Wednesday to y'all, the platform sports talk show, yo, Wednesday night sports delight. We're here, y'all. Go ahead right now. Take this time. Give you about a few seconds. Go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and share the stream, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube. Get the lights going. Get the shares going because we have another great show in store for you. Speaking of great shows, last week, Joe, it was amazing. Had the
Yep.
great Brad Thompson, World Series champion, one-to-one ESPN on-air personality, Bally Sports Midwest, Cardinals announcer. I mean, golly, the man's living the life. But what a great show that was last week. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no, that was awesome. Kind of like I was telling you later on after the show that, we've had a former NBA player, former NFL player, something that was a little more of my yard is, baseball. And now I was telling you we need to get a former hockey player on here somehow, some way. I don't know if Jamie Rivers is out there, maybe him. That he'd be drinking some beer like me on the show probably. But yeah, no, that was awesome. And
Yes,
I know
there
you
was.
probably mentioned something a little bit later too.
Oh yeah, but definitely in regards to someone who has some hockey knowledge or experience, definitely stay tuned. I love to say it, just stay tuned. I always work behind the scenes, being persistent, doing
I
what
don't know about it, so you guys don't know about it. So he's gonna surprise us like always.
I promise you, I won't do y'all like I did the Miss Williams thing. Okay.
I'm still mad at you about that.
Oh man, that was an incredible show. But yes, feel free, y'all. Once again, go ahead and share as much as possible. Let your peoples know if they are sports fans. They love to discuss anything sports related. This show is for y'all. All right. Bring up comments. Let's engage in some great sports topics. Whatever it is, sports related, go ahead, bring it on. Try us, ask questions, let us know what's happening, and we'll have fun engaging with each and every one of y'all on your Wednesday night sports delight. Make sure also on YouTube, subscribe, click on that
Well,
because anytime we go live,
you will be notified.
there we go. And Joe, I meant to ask you this a while back, but for those who are interested in knowing more about Joe, where can they find you at on social media?
Oh my gosh, what's my name? I don't even know. It's probably like my maiden name's and everything right now, like because I just love my maiden name. But hold on, I got you. All right, on Instagram you can find me at jmarty_7. Biggio's number. It's probably the same thing on Twitter, honestly. And yeah, that's at jmarty_07. And then on Facebook, I'm just Joe Bovacani. Have my actual full name on there that time. But yeah, I'm on pretty much everything. You can probably find me on LinkedIn even. I think that's what Sharita always says.
Man, I have to get more acquainted with LinkedIn. I mean, I know about I have an account. I just haven't got on it as much like I need to, especially for what I'm doing. And then same thing with TikTok. I have an account, but I just haven't put a lot of videos out there yet. So I definitely need to step my game up in regards to those different
TikTok,
areas.
I think would be
Man,
good for the show because obviously it's very popular.
yeah.
I have one of I just kind of had videos of Mia, her growing up or whatever, nothing too crazy on there. But I mean, I know some of the people that I like listen to podcasts, they do little snippets of shows,
Right.
from their shows. So that'd be something cool that you could do.
Yeah, so I definitely be and for a little minute, a few months back, I was doing snippets of certain moments of shows. But as I was telling my boy T-Bone Funk, hey, it takes time to do all that,
Yeah.
and sometimes time don't be on your side. So I'm working on some things behind the scenes. So definitely stay tuned. But in regards to myself, you see it right now on the screen. Just put in smoothproductions.com. You'll see all my different pages, even the platform Sports Talk Show. You'll see everything right there on smoothproductions.com. You can also book me for a show that you want to do like this, any kind of podcast, need a DJ for your event, a host, any kind of a studio engineering. Let me know. I'll make it smooth for you. Shouts out to the wifey. She just announced, but about half an hour ago, that if you go on jammingwithjayonce.com, that's JAMMIN with Jayonce, JAYONCE.com, she now has more waist trainer belts. So, ladies, it's time to go ahead and get ready. Be a better you. Get snatched. So go ahead, you can order it. There you go, get snatched. And like she loves to say, get wasted. So, right now, go ahead, jammingwithjayonce.com. Click on shop and order your waist trainer belt. Not right now, but right now. Also, in regards to the ladies, I got to go ahead and show them love because the second season of Ladies Night begins next month. Every first Wednesday of the month, Joe's going to be on there holding it down. Sharita holding it down. Bunny is making her long-awaited return like Klay Thompson. And, of course, Annie, in which she may not be in the best mood because her Cowboys lost this past weekend. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we need to be talking about these football playoffs.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely coming up. I know a lot of people got a lot to discuss in regards to this past weekend. So, once again, stay tuned. And now, not only the ladies are holding things down, but starting in March, the Man Cave goes down every last Wednesday of the month, starting in March. So get ready. It's going to be dope. I will be displaying who's going to be on the panel very, very soon. So look forward to that. Once again, bring them comments in right now on the platform Sports Talk Show. The show gets better when y'all go ahead and comment. Show us love. Don't be scared. Share this stream right now with the peoples. A whole lot going on in the sports world, Joe. So with that being said, you know what's about right now. You now have my attention. What sports story or stories has your attention?
I'm going with Joe Burrows and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
One there. I will say Brennan helped me with this a little bit because I was telling him, "Hi, Miss Williams, happy Wednesday." I was telling him I always have a hard time to come up with an example for something that has my attention. But yeah, Joe Burrows. He was a rookie last year, got hurt. Second year now, healthy, and he's dominant. We were talking about it last week how. He's probably a top 3 quarterback this year, and this is their first playoff win in 30 years or something. That's insane.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So we could dish the Reds all we want because we can't stand them, but that's awesome for some Cincinnati team, and the Bengals to have some success right now, and I'm excited to watch them moving forward.
And didn't I say this last week when I told Brad Thompson? I said, watch out. Even doing the segment we had about which teams in the NFL, in the AFC, and in the NFC can surprise and make a run, I had the Bengals. And look what happened. Now, granted, it was against the Raiders, but still,
yeah,
like you said, their first win in more than 15 years in
Raiders
the playoffs.
Made it close there at the end, though, too.
They did, but it's something about Joe Burrows. This guy here, he just oozes leadership. He oozes a winning mentality. He's so laid back. He doesn't let the game get to him.
He doesn't get nervous or scared, it looks like.
Right. And they always say, when you're hitting your stride when the game comes to you slow. And that's how he played from the first drive, and which would break more games down. But from the first drive, he just came in, boom, completions, touchdown, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Well, like he was a rookie, in the playoffs. He was like a seasoned vet who's been there.
As they say, cool as a cucumber, he was good to go.
Exactly. So that's definitely a what's up in regards to you now have my attention. A few things has my attention, and I'm very big on, historical things in regards to sports. And these two people I'm about to show very soon, I may have known about it, but may not have knew the full history. And I just felt it was just so cool when I heard about it, and it all happened yesterday. But one, we want to definitely give rest in peace, because this woman here, she changed the game in regards to basketball, and she passed away yesterday. This woman here is a trailblazer in regards to, once again, basketball, and that's none other than Lucia. Excuse me, Lucia Harris. She is the first and only woman that was drafted in the NBA. She scored the first points in Olympic women's basketball history, and she's the first Black woman who was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. She won 3 national titles at Delta State, was a 3-time AIAW tournament MVP, and 3-time All-American. But once again, she was the first and only woman drafted in the NBA, and she passed away yesterday. So definitely rest in peace, and thank you for your contributions representing for the women. I had no idea, truthfully, about this feat, and it's a shame that we had to wait until she passed away for this to be, announced. But yeah, definitely needs to be acknowledged. So shouts out to everything that she has done, and definitely rest in peace. And then secondly, and Joe, you may have already known about this. I didn't until it came to my attention yesterday. But this man here, Mr. Willie O'Ree, he is the first Black man to play in the NHL. He was just he didn't pass away, so folks. So don't be like, oh my God, he didn't pass away, but he was honored yesterday by the Boston Bruins, and all around the NHL. He was once again the first African American to go to the NHL. So
I think they actually made today or yesterday his day in Boston. Like his what do they call that? I don't even remember. I don't know. Like there's a day for everything now, but
right, he has his own day now.
Yeah, his own day though. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Bruins. We're salty about them. We don't like them, but that's cool.
Right. That's the only good thing about the Bruins that we can say.
Exactly.
Shouts out to T-Bone Funk. He says, one step closer to San Fran versus Cincinnati. And I said last week, watch out for San Fran, watch out for the Bengals. And both teams showed up and showed out. And then T-Bone Funk said he just read about her earlier. So, yeah, I had no idea. Lucia Harris, Lusia Harris, Harris. They call her the queen of basketball. And yes, awesome. If you are the first Black woman, the first and only woman drafted in the NBA, of course, that's definitely big time. And it shouldn't have taken to this point where she's not getting the flowers that she should have gotten while she was alive. So as we always say,
crazy. Sorry to interrupt you there. Is that you said, that it's terrible that we're just now hearing about her. I didn't know until like a week or two ago that women can be in the NBA Hall of Fame.
Right.
It's like we have a prospect in the Cardinals system, Kramer Robertson.
Right.
His mom is LCU's women's coach, I think, but she's in the NBA Hall of Fame. I think that's awesome.
Kim. I want to say it's Kim Malarkey or something like that.
Something like that. But I was going through the page and it's like her just chilling with MJ, and I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's a very successful college coach. She recently retired a few years ago. But yeah, definitely shouts out to her, and just to the ladies who just hold things down. If you're not getting acknowledged like you should, it needs to change, because y'all definitely deserve it. So some more. Of course, the other night we had an incredible celebration for the one and only Chris Pronger, and I had to use this picture here. I had to use this picture because the other night he had his jersey put up in the rafters, forever immortalized in the St. Louis Blues organization. So anytime you head to the Enterprise Center, you look up, you're gonna see this man here. But this was such a cool moment, how he got the Bud Light, had the fans going crazy, and did it for St. Louis. When you think about Chris Pronger, Joe, what comes to mind just about him overall?
Shoot. Well, he brought it up a couple times when he was talking, and he really did kind of get trashed on it first when he came here because of Brendan Shanahan. But I mean, he won the city's hearts and the hearts of the city and captain. You see the C there on his chest, and he was just gritty. And I think what they were talking about, he won the MVP and something else. I can't remember. All in the same year, and he's only the second person as a defenseman to do that in all of
Right.
NHL history.
Right.
But yeah, actually, if you go to my screen here, I don't know if you can pull up my screen. Fred.
Hold on real quick. My bad. I wasn't ready, people. There we go.
Fine. All right, hold on. We got some Pronger cards over here.
Hey.
It's my aunt's actually. There's a stack of them. I just got so many of them. She just handed them down to me. But these are all Prongers. She's probably one of the biggest Pronger fans I've ever met in my life. Back in the day, it was probably because she thought he was cute, because they're about the same age. But I remember her telling me a story, and they mentioned it. Was it McInnes or can't remember? One of them mentioned in their speech about how when he was hit in the chest with a puck and he died there on ice, pretty much, and thankfully they were able to revive him, and he's still here with us today. And now his jerseys, hanging up in the rafters forever. But I always remember her telling me that story. So that's also one thing that definitely comes to mind when I think Chris Pronger. And then also the clown jerseys. The days of Kelly Chase and Pronger and Tony Twist. I got to think of those jerseys that they were wearing the other night.
Right. But, does it give you a different appreciation for those jerseys, or does it make you be like, ew, because of back then when they had it on?
I've always loved those jerseys. I don't know why people hate them so much, honestly. Like, I get they say that we're the Blues and there shouldn't be red in there, but
that's not the point.
Our colors aren't blue because of the Blues, like it's Jazz and this and that, So, but
right.
But no, I love those jerseys. I love the ones they wore like 2 nights ago. Last night, I don't even remember. All my days are the same. But then also the retro ones that they did, the reverse ones, those are awesome too. So I don't know why people hate on those all the time.
Yeah, I never got that too. The whole because they have red in there. We're not the red. We know that.
The Cardinals blue jerseys on the road are awesome.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
I mean, you know how society is. They just have a angry mentality in regards to anything and everything. So y'all want to see the negative. It's how the world is nowadays. T-Bone Funk says, "I like the red and I like the red in the jersey." Yeah. So I mean, I like it. And I went to a game, I think about maybe 3 years ago, in which they had on those jerseys that they had on Monday night. And they look good on the ice. I mean, it was popping. I'm like, okay. So
there's certain guys that looks like badass on, kind of like Ryan O'Reilly. It looks good on that guy. I just have a thing for O'Reilly in general, but it looks good on him. On Barbashev, it looks good on, and Robert Thomas. They just look clean in those. I love them.
Yeah, like I said, you just have a different appreciation when you see it now compared to back in the day. Yeah. So. I'm glad that you brought up in regards to Chris Pronger and how he was booed so much, and he brought up the story. Mm-hmm. And then he mentioned a certain person's name, and it made everybody boo. And that was none other than this man right here, Mike Keenan. Yep. So, of course, once again, he got booed. But I was listening to 101 ESPN the other day, in which BT and Ferrario had Mike Keenan on. And I wanted to pose this question for Blues fans, of course, like yourself, Joe. Yes, we know how things ended during his tenure with the Blues, but shouldn't this man get more credit for what he did to bring in Chris Pronger to St. Louis and have Wayne Gretzky when he came in to St. Louis? Shouldn't this man get more credit than what he's been given?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to answer questions like that whenever back in the day I was a child, Yeah. I could only look at it, from looking back and hearing other stories. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that end up, like Chris Pronger is one of them, or some people may not have liked them. And then once they're gone, you show a lot of appreciation for them. But yeah, I can't really say too much on it because I'm not well known on that. So, but that could be the case about anything.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it didn't end well in regards to his coaching tenure with the Blues. They were so close when you had Wayne Gretzky, but then of course you had that damn goal by who was it from the Red Wings during the playoffs, and they just killed everything. And then, like I said, the people were just so much in Eiserman. People were so much in a feelings, about how things happen.
Griffier was hurt when that happened, by the way. We had just some backup goalie to help us get that far. I remember my brother telling me my mom and dad let him take school off the next day because he was crying and crying and crying when that happened. So I didn't get
passion.
Yeah. I mean, shoot. I mean, you imagine something like that happened in 2019?
Man, yeah, that would have been.
I would have called off work for sure.
Yeah. Say Miss Williams says bringing in Gretzky was a coup, and it wasn't his fault that Gretzky left. That was on the owners. Now, for what I understand, I'm hearing that it was on Keenan. I believe Brett Hull told Wayne Gretzky while he was on the team, or maybe before, like, "Hey, you don't want to come here because of Keenan. He's gonna pretty much eventually run you out," and that's exactly what happened. Well, now Gretzky got old and had nagging injuries, but it didn't help being under Mike Keenan as well. So, like I said, you have your good side of things with Mike Keenan, but then you have the other side that people can't stand him, like they can't stand Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, you can say that about anyone, though, honestly. And
yeah,
I mean, people had their problems against Schilt, but there was also a lot of good things about him as well. So, yeah, you can say that about Belichick. Like look at that whole Brady stuff that happened. So,
yeah. Right. So that was a little bit of Pronger and Mike Keenan, but let's talk about the Blues. They're playing incredible hockey. They had an incredible comeback. They might as well call them the comeback Blues, not the call, but the comeback cardiac Blues. Recently, they have these slow starts, but then they find a way to win. Unfortunately, they couldn't pull it off against the Toronto Maple Leafs over the weekend, but that was a great game. If you was there in person, you saw a show. I mean,
I guess you could say it's a good game, but it's kind of like, is Game 6 of the 2011 World Series a good game, or was it a great game because of what happened for us Cardinals fans? Like, if you're just a straight baseball fan,
right?
That was a terribly played game. You know what I'm saying? Right. But what was it? 11 goals in that game. That doesn't happen in hockey.
Right.
So, and Bennett, hey, I'm just going to say something. Brennan read the stats earlier. We're like 11-3 and something when Husso starts. And it's not looking too good when Benner's in that. So I just want to see what's going to happen at the end of the year. We might have to get JR back on the show so I can say something, because you mentioned that I said he wasn't a top goalie, and he said I was wrong. So let's see what happens.
T-Bone asked, was Gretzky good that year? I wasn't watching closely, but thought he underperformed. So, I mean, of course, he was at the end of his career. So it wasn't like he was peak Gretzky, but he was still Gretzky. He still held things down. He wasn't the New York Rangers or Los Angeles Kings or, Oilers Gretzky, but he still, held things down as a Blue. Just unfortunately, the age came and the injuries started nagging, kind of like McGuire, his last, 2 years when, knee injuries. What's what I'm going to say? He didn't have as much power. He wasn't as agile at first base, so he couldn't play as much, down during the down years of his career. So that's how it was for Gretzky.
I mean, so 18 games with us. He had 8 goals, and he had 21 points. Yeah, he had 21 points.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's good. He's a -7. Is that -6? But I mean, like, he was good. But again, like you said, he was older. He only played like 3 more seasons after that. It's like, let's get Mike Trout and, the last part of his career for 2 years. And if he's not good, he's not good. That just happens. Like, Albert's not Albert anymore.
Right.
That's
a great comparison. The last 3 years of Albert Pujols was kind of like that last year with Gretzky for the Blues. I think that's a good way to put it.
Even though Albert's still hitting like 15 to 20 homers, it's just not 35 to 40 like he used to.
Right. So I'm glad that you brought up in regards to the Jeremy Rutherford, having them back on about this goalie situation, because that's why I want to bring up this next topic: contract versus performance. When is it time to play the better player than play the contract? And this has been a topic that we discussed definitely in regards to the Cardinals, and it looks like it's starting to happen with the Blues, as you just brought up. Now, I wouldn't call it a controversy. Craig Berube said on 101 ESPN that they're looking at everything. They have a plan in place. It's all about the performance. But as you was bringing up, Joe, Benner hasn't been looking too good this year. Not to the level of what we have been expecting, especially from us being spoiled in what he did in 2019. He doesn't look as sharp. For what I'm hearing from Jamie Rivers, that his glove doesn't be as high like it used to be. Doesn't attack like he used to. But you're seeing that from Husso. So it's getting to a point where, yeah, he has the contract, but Husso has been killing it. So when does a coach get to a point where you just have to say, you know what, continue to ride the hot hand because he's bringing a better result to the team compared to, well, we got to keep the other guy in because of the contract. You know what I'm saying? How can you really draw that line? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just, hey, Berube, that's why he's the coach. That's why he's the manager. You have to manage situations. And to me, I'm going to say, hey, you have to allow Husso to keep doing his thing. Yes, give him breaks. You don't want to have him play 5 games in a row. Give him a break. But until he shows otherwise, keep that man playing as much as possible. And my thought also is, let's get Bennington to be pissed off.
Yeah.
Where he's gonna be like, I'm saying, you know what, let me get my game together, let me get my act right on and get my spot back how it should be. That's what I feel that should happen. I hope it does. I hope that it sparks something better in him. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, we'll go on record to say first, I do believe on a show when Benner got that contract, I said it wasn't a good contract. If you want to extend him, that's fine, give him a contract, but I don't think it was the right amount, and that's one flaw that I can point out about Army in the last however many years, because he's made so many good trades and acquisitions. But I just say give it to the All-Star break, keep doing what we're doing, giving them about the same amount of playing time. But then first, couple games out of the All-Star break, if it's still looking the same, then you got to give Husso the majority of the starts, I think. He's just been way too good. I honestly didn't think he was going to be this good. I knew he was one of our top, I don't know if they call them prospects in hockey, but he's been one of our top guys in the system. So I'd go to the All-Star break, and then after that, Chiefs going to have to make a big decision. And like you said, though, if you piss off Benner, the dude's a psychopath, maybe that'll get him going a little bit. But yeah, that's how I think about it. I love Benner, love what he did for us in 2019, like I've said multiple times, but I just don't think he is what people are saying he was going to be. I just think it was a miracle run for a miracle in 2019 for us to turn that around and to win the whole thing.
Yeah, and we're living at a time where it's all about what have you done for me lately. So right now, Husso, even when we had Lingren in, he was doing this thing, and the team just played different when Husso was behind the net or in front of the net, and same thing with Lingren. Something just about Bennington just hasn't really been as tight as it should be.
And I can because you were saying we were playing good against Lindgren too, is maybe whenever we're having half the team out with COVID and injuries and stuff, the guys that are on the ice are playing harder. And then whenever they have the whole roster in there and Benner in there, maybe they're just playing a little more laid back or something. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know, but it's just give them to the All-Star break, see how that happens, and then maybe switch some things up. And
maybe they play that way because they're so used to him saving their behinds back then, especially in 19. They like, oh, we ain't got to be as tight on defense. We can kind of be a little lax, and if something slips, oh, well, our boy got us, so he's going to be a freaking human wall. but right now
Yep.
he's not being that wall.
Yep.
So
it kind of gives me the whole
case.
like Jake Allen conversation with
I was about to
Benner.
say the
You know,
same
like
thing.
yeah, you know, like back if Benner was Jake Allen, people would have already kicked Jake Allen out, you know, out of the coop, and then just be like, who's our starter? But you know, since Benny gave us the cup and all this other stuff, you know, people are trying to give him a little extra time, which I understand. I get it. But at some point, you know, you got to start playing better.
Right. And, you know, we're not saying, okay, officially, Huso is the official number one goalie. We're just saying, let him keep doing his thing. It's like in football. And T-Bone, I'm sure you can answer this question. But if Trey Lance is holding things down for San Fran, and I mean he's just looking on fire, and Garoppolo was hurt, he's not 100%, he's not himself, and Trey Lance is constantly just doing this thing week by week by week, being productive, and the team is winning. Once Garoppolo is healthy, do you just all of a sudden stop playing Trey Lance while the team is like on a 5-game winning streak just to put in Garoppolo because of the contract? Or do you continue to ride the hot hand? You know, standing.
No, sorry, I was just gonna say Jamie Rivers, I think, on the post game the other night was kind of mentioning maybe Huso could be trade bait. So I don't know. I don't know if you do that or not. I don't know if Army would do that. It would make no sense to me really if, you know, he's got no money to his name and Bennington does, but you're not gonna trade Bennington either. So.
And it really depends on who can they bring, because I'm pretty sure if they want to make a move like that, they want to get a top-notch defenseman.
Yeah, that's what they need.
Yeah. So that'll be the only way you do that is if it's kind of like a Carson Kelly kind of thing for the Cardinals, how they traded him to get you know, Goldsmith and stuff like that. So it all depends on the return investment. So definitely stay tuned for that. And T-Bone says, well, you know, I was on Smith's side when he got concussed. Both guys were winning, but Smith had played 8 games and it's ended the shot. So he's talking about Alex Smith. Mm-hmm. So doing his days with the Washington football team. I got it right this week. So some more news in regards to baseball. Before we get into NFL, hit the baseball up. So the Cardinals made some noise this past weekend as well, or last week actually. They hit up the international market and signed a few youngsters. And a few guys I want to highlight. One is Jonathan Mejia. He's a shortstop, 16 years old, from the Dominican Republic, 6 foot tall, 185 pounds. They say this dude here is a young stud in the making. Be someone that we should definitely keep eyes on over the next few years. But another guy that I want to also highlight, and I was like, okay, Cardinals, wait a minute, let's see about this. And that's this young man right here, 18-year-old. I think is it Won Bin Cho?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
There we go.
Shoot, I mean, him and his dog look excited to be Cardinals. So
already,
I don't know if you've seen that the video of him hitting dingers. I think in Arlington back in the day, but
yes,
pretty sweet. I think he's one of the top. Was he from Japan or is he from Korea?
He is from Seoul, South Korea.
All right, yeah, I think he was like one of like the bigger names, you know, coming out of there. So hopefully be something big. You know, we'll probably hear about him before Mejia because, you know, he's a couple of years older. Possibly DH happening in MLB. I don't think it'll be like, you know, the next couple of years, but looks like he could be the real deal, you know. So those international signings sometimes pan out a little bit faster than the drafts. So he looks fun.
Yeah. And just something that I brought up on Twitter, and this is more so in regards to our international signings. We had our signings, but then we have shown in the past a little bit of impatience, and we let certain guys go. We just hope that, and like Randy Kirker said on his post, that we hope that we're able to see majority of these guys, especially these two that I mentioned, be successful Cardinals players. You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing good and great somewhere else, let's do it in-house. You know what I'm saying? Let's be great while you are a Cardinal. So that's all we can hope for is let's groom these guys up and get them ready for the big leagues, and let's go. Once again, this is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth, along with
Joe Bell.
keep them lights going, them shares, bring them comments, because right now it's time to talk about the NFL playoffs. Overall, Joe, outside of maybe one, maybe two games, wild card weekend wasn't great football. Would you say I'm correct on that?
Yeah, I think we could go back last week to me saying how excited I was for playoff football this past weekend, and that doesn't happen often, but my goodness, like, this was terrible. And then, like, just the Cowboys and 49ers game, how many penalties were racked up?
Oh, yeah.
That was horrible. Like, I'm sorry to Annie, and then at Tebow, I'm happy for you, but, like, that was a terrible football game. And then I don't even know what the heck happened there at the end. That happened twice in the game where the ref got in the way, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and for those who are like, man, it's the ref's fault. No, it's not the ref's fault. First off, you practice these kind of situations all the time, okay? If you are running a play like the Cowboys did, which they shouldn't have done, first off, thanks, Mike McCarthy. But the play that should have happened, Dak ran down 20-some yards. He should have instantly gave the ball to the referee so he can set the ball. You're a referee. You're running 25 yards behind the play. You catch up. Then you got to deal with a 6'3", 6'4", 200 and something pound quarterback. Then you got to deal with a 6'4", 6'5", 300 something pound offensive lineman. Of course, you're going to run into somebody because you have them along with 4 or 5 other 300-pound guys that's in the way. Of course, you're going to bump into somebody. You're not going to have room. So that's why it was on Dak and the team to prepare correctly by giving the referee the ball and getting out his way so he can place the ball, and then boom. But once again, the biggest issue was the play call.
Yeah, the play call. Like they were doing the right thing all the way up to that last play. They were doing everything perfectly, and then they had Dak run it. Like, that didn't really make sense to me.
And I'm sorry, going back in regards to the Alex Smith, he's talking about his time doing it with the 49ers and Kaepernick. So that's right, my bad. The penalties were delightful. Of course.
I mean, the 49ers were getting some crappy penalties there towards the end too, but they came out on top and they won, so it doesn't matter. But that game was, I'm sorry, that was terrible to watch. Which one was a close one? I don't even remember. Like the Bengals one was kind of close, right?
No, the closest one was the San Fran and Cowboys game.
Oh yeah, down to the wire. But I mean, it wasn't fun to watch. You know, like I don't know.
That
These
was the
games
closest one.
Like, I didn't even finish the Rams game. Like, that was ridiculous. I do and don't feel bad for Kyler Murray because I think Brennan's tweeted it. He's been bad since like week 10. So that was embarrassing to watch. It was bad.
And Ms. Williams said same with the Raiders and Bengals in regards to penalties. The Raiders beat themselves with holding penalties. I mean, even going back to the Cowboys game, like you said before, the Cowboys had some stupid penalties, like, false starts here, holding this guy here. I mean, it was clear as day, should I say.
I think they had like 2 false starts back to back.
Right, and you at home. It's like, what you doing being all uptight, like what Chris Duncan says, having tight cheeks. Like, come on, y'all. Ms. Williams agrees in regards to the Cowboys play. And then T-Bone said, exactly, they try to spot their own ball. This ain't NFL street where you can just take the ball and put it down yourself. No.
That was a fun game, okay?
Right. It was very entertaining. Wifey and I enjoyed the game. And by the way, I had to say this because I told you about it during our chat. I love watching the games on Nickelodeon. Shouts out to Nickelodeon, the second year doing it. I love it. They simplify the game for those who may not be aware of the rules. but the game it's just a different look to it. I have a good time watching it. So shouts out to them. But yeah, going back, you practice these things even doing not spring training, but doing training, in the NFL training camp. There's certain things that you should know, and Dak should have known. Give the ball to the referee. Like if it was Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, guys like that, if they would have ran, they would have gave the ball right to the umpire and said, guys, get out the way. Let's set, call timeout, or spike the ball, whatever it is.
I don't think any of those guys are running in that play, though. Even if they told them, this is what we're doing. Tom Brady's not. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right, but it's still the mental of knowing what to do in certain spots. That's the bottom line. And pretty much the Cowboys just choked. Dak choked. And then what made it worse, even though he apologized, but he was he was jokingly saying about the fans throwing debris on the field. He thought it was towards him and his teammates, and he found out it was to the refs. So he was like, oh, well, that's cool then. But of course, he apologized about it. But it just shows just the mindset, the kind of player. Now, he apologized, but still, you have to just be smarter in situations. That's why you get paid the big bucks. And you didn't show up when it mattered the most.
And those other guys you mentioned would have said that.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So going back to the playoff tree real quick. So
let's do our picks.
Now the Titans, they played the Bengals. Chiefs versus the Bills. That was the last game. Chiefs versus the Steelers. Last game for Ben Roethlisberger as a Steeler. More than likely, he's probably going to retire. I don't see a different team trying to sign up for a year or whatever. I think it's a wrap for him. The Buccaneers and the Eagles game, once again, blowout. Hurts, you asked about him and his availability. Jalen Hurts, he played. He didn't look too good. But the Buccaneers face off against the Rams. Packers, 49ers. Once again, Chiefs and Bills, the rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year. And once again, Titans and the Bengals. I told you before about the Bengals, Joe, and how they are scary. This is the first game back for Derrick Henry. He was just announced as cleared yesterday, and he had his first contact in a few months today, and he was cleared, so he's ready to go. Titans and Bengals. Who do you have before I say mine?
So I'm sorry to Austin Huffs, who we've had on the show before. He's a Titans guy, but I'm going Joe Burrows and the Bengals. I know it's going to be in Tennessee. It's going to be tough. And he said that Derrick Henry's coming back, but I don't know. They just look too good. I think the Chiefs are going to, but I love Josh Allen. That guy put on a clinic the other night. So I'm just going to pick him just because I want him to. I'm sorry, T-Bone. I'm going Rodgers and the Packers. And then this game I'm really intrigued about with the Bucs and the Rams. The Buccaneers are super healthy. I'm going all in for the Buccaneers. I think the Rams might take it, but I can't go against TB. So I'm going Bucs. So I got Bucs, Bills, Packers, Bengals.
Oh, man. I have a hard time trying to trust Ryan Tannehill from the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't know what to expect from Derrick Henry. And like I said about the Bengals, they are a team that's very scary. But I'm still going to go ahead and go with the Titans on this one. I feel that they'll dominate that game. Not I won't say blowout, but I definitely say they'll have that time possession on lock because you have Derrick Henry. Chiefs and the Bills, once again, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. Will Josh Allen step up to the level of what Mahomes has done in the playoffs? I'm still not convinced. I may be wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Chiefs in that game. Oh, man. Packers, 49ers. I thought about this hard. And a lot of people love to say, Well, it's Green Bay. It's in January. It's going to be cold. It's going to be freezing. But at the same time, Green Bay has lost a lot of games at Green Bay. And one of the teams they lost to, even though it was against Kaepernick and them, but it was against the 49ers. And I really love the way the 49ers are playing right now. Deebo Samuels is a beast. Now, Joey Bosa, if I'm correct, T-Bone is hurt right now. Not sure if he's going to be playing, but I'm going to go ahead and give San Fran that victory. Bucks and the Rams. Whoo! Oh my God. Peyton Manning said something that was very crucial, and that's how I feel too. Is that once you win that first ever playoff game, it seems like, yes, the monkey, the gorilla, the whatever is off your back. And that's how Matthew Stafford is right now. He finally got that victory. Von Miller played great. We know what Aaron Donald can do. We know what Ramsey can do. OBJ, he showed out. At the end of the day, I still just had to go with Tom Brady.
So we agree on one game. So
yeah,
but yeah, it's TB and Tampa. I know you bring up T-Bone's messages. He has a couple in there.
Let me see here. Looks like the 49ers broke things. It would have been 1-4 each conference. Yeah, they definitely broke a lot of things. The bye has never worked for the Packers with Rodgers. And then Ms. Williams says, were you surprised that the Cardinals were so ineffective against the Rams in the first half? I was a little bit surprised, but not that much because Cliff Kingsbury, and don't be surprised, folks. I'm going to say it here. Don't be surprised if he's not re-signed or if he comes back next year, because he's been showing a pattern over the last 3-4 years now since he's been the head coach, that they have great starts but not great finishes in a season. So that may be a warning to the organization. But Joe, go ahead with what you were saying.
No, I was just gonna say about his second comment with the Packers and Rodgers. They're obviously the 1 seed, this and that. I didn't pick the Packers because they're my favorite team. It's whatever. It's Green Bay. I kind of want the 49ers to win that game and, I guess be an upset. I don't really think upsets are an upset in playoffs, but, Jimmy G, he looks good out there. He looked a little rattled there towards the end of that Cowboys game, but, I mean, he looks good to me. So I'm rooting for the 49ers. I think Green Bay is going to take it, so we'll see what happens. But I'll be thinking of you, T-Bone.
Yeah, once again, it should be an incredible game. I look forward to it in regards to all these games. Actually, this, I think, is going to be the best week of all. All 4 of these games should be pretty incredible, and all starts on Saturday.
Please, good games. I can't do that again. That was so bad. And I finished maybe 2 of those games all the way through because they were just horrible. So hopefully we get good games. Hopefully not flags flying all over the place left and right, because that was brutal.
Right. Let's see here. But once again, this is your Wednesday Night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Your boy Smooth, along with
Joe Bell,
having a great time discussing everything in regards to the world of sports. Just an incredible weekend that we have had, and these last 2 days leading up to the show. Incredible time of the year. And that's, as I said before, these 4 games coming up this weekend should be incredible. No blowouts, please. Just great games.
Good games. Good games, nail biters. That's what I want to see. I don't have any interest, with football. I'm not a giant football fan. I would like to see the Rams lose. And that's that, Sorry, Stanton. Is Sedal a Rams fan? I think.
Yeah, Sedal is.
Sorry, Sedal. Sorry about that, but I want them to lose as much as I like Stafford. But I'm surprised he could hear in his stadium, and I'm surprised Rams fans didn't sell their tickets to Cardinals fans.
Well, I mean, after Matthew Stafford's wife and others said, "Do not sell tickets to Arizona Cardinal fans," even though they shouldn't have to do all that.
Yeah, that was
But
sad.
hey, I also heard though that during the game this past Monday night, there was a sewage issue at SoFi Stadium. That there was a busted pipe, and all of a sudden, in certain bowels of the stadium, it was a bad sewage smell. So
Oh,
this stadium has been up for 3 years, and you're already having issues with sewage. They said that during the press conference, this is what Randy Kirker said on 101 ESPN this past Monday, that during the press conference, one of the beat reporters noticed how Sean McVay's nose was like, because he was smelling the sewage already. Joe said Miss Williams said that's okay, Joe. All I want is for the Cowboys to lose. Well,
they did.
that happened.
That happened. Yep.
Let's see. So like Mike Brown as coach of the Cavs when LeBron was there, they would do great in the regular season, and they're tanking the playoffs. Talking about Kingsbury for the Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals
So yeah,
bad, last handful of weeks. It's a blah team, really. Like, who did they lose to the last game of the year?
Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, like Seattle's not a good team anymore, So, and that was to take a higher seed against the Rams.
Right. So more NFL news. This was just put out there about a good hour ago, but Michigan football team head coach Jim Harbaugh announced that if offered the opportunity, he would take the Vegas job. So he wouldn't mind being the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. So he may be coming back to the NFL. He just made that announcement recently. So
is he from Vegas, and that's why he would only take Vegas's, or
no, it's just the opportunity,
okay.
to be back, be in that type of setting in Vegas. The team they just went to the playoffs, and he could be that guy that kind of like take him over the hump. So we shall see. Now, in regards to the NBA, Dwayne Wade said something pretty interesting the other day that caught my attention, and I want to give people feedback. He said that this new generation of people is going to have LeBron as the GOAT, of course, the greatest of all time, and Michael Jordan will be irrelevant, kind of like how Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is irrelevant to this now generation already. People like, who's Kareem? Or, they don't really understand the magnitude of what Kareem brought to the table. This new generation may do the same thing in regards to Jordan, because all they know is LeBron James. So he's not discrediting Jordan, but he's just saying that this new generation that's coming up now is going to have Jordan look irrelevant and be looking at LeBron James like he's that basketball god.
What age is this generation?
I'm pretty sure it's like 15 and below.
15 or below. I mean, you can say that about anything, though. Like Albert Pujols is probably irrelevant to the kids that young. So whatever.
Yeah. At first I was like, man, you tripping. But then I thought about it, and like I said, people like, for instance, Baby Girl, she saw Space Jam 2 a few months back, and she doesn't know about Jordan. You know what I'm saying? She's 6 years old.
I will compare this to something. I don't know if this is a good comparison or not. My mother showed me good music growing up. Okay, like Aerosmith and Boyz II Men and Garth Brooks and people that we know. If my mom did not show me that growing up, I would have no idea who these people are, most likely. It's not like you hear about all these bands all the time, constantly. They're not on the radio all the time. So if you teach your kids, it's about anything, honestly, anything life related. But if you show your kids stuff that you grew up doing, listening to, watching, then they're going to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mia is going to know this good music that I grew up on. And she's going to know about comic books and this and that because I taught her that. She's gonna know who Craig Biggio is because Craig Biggio is my favorite player. I guess that's like how I can say. There's some people that don't know.
And I was gonna say that too.
Music.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing or similar. It's like once she was like, "Who is Michael Jordan?" I had to be like, "Wait a minute, let me go ahead and play Space Jam 1 or you know, let's watch YouTube for a little minute. Let's watch The Last Dance." And you know, so it's actually like you said, it's on the parent, it's on that person who knows more about the game to be like, let me introduce you to Michael Jordan or to Prince or to Michael Jackson or whomever.
Yeah, if your parents show you that stuff, you're gonna know everything about it. You're most likely gonna somewhat enjoy that stuff. Like my mom showed me all kinds of stuff like that. Ricky Martin, for example. Like who knows Ricky Martin? My family's Hispanic. She showed me it. I love Ricky Martin.
So T-Bone Funk says, I don't know about that. The reason people from the 70s were less remembered has to do with the availability of footage. There's too much out there of Jordan that will compete with LeBron. And then Ms. Williams says, my son Ed had an epiphany when he started listening to my vinyl collection. Yeah. So like I said, it is all about exposing people. And as T-Bone said, there's a lot of videos. There's full games of Jordan back in the day, so they can really see, or just put on The Last Dance.
Yeah, I've only seen one episode of The Last Dance, and I feel like I learned so much stuff I've never knew about Michael Jordan, but then just one episode. So yeah, and that's on what? ESPN, Netflix, something. Right. So it's definitely a way. Now, of course, you may not be able to find those videos of Bill Russell and Kareem. Now I know that HBO, I believe, if I'm correct, is coming out with a series in regards to the Showtime Lakers. So that should be interesting, so people can see those great years of Magic Johnson, Kareem, Worthy, Byron Scott, so they can appreciate what happened back in the 80s and the 90s before Jordan took over. And Ms. Williams, that's correct. NBA.com has a lot of vintage footage. I'm not sure if they still do it now. If that channel, is still open, not open, but still out there, and that's ESPN Classic. They used to have all type of old school games on that channel. Maybe now it's NBA.com or NBA TV when they show those classic games. But I know ESPN Classic, I used to love watching games back in the day on that channel. I think most I don't know, sports organizations or whatever, like MLB a couple years ago opened the MLB like archive thing where you can look up a player and see, like, oh, I want to see that one Scott Rowland play or that one home run that Brad Thompson gave up. I want to see that. And then you can pull it up. Or I think even WWE's app, you can pull up old wrestling matches as well.
Yeah.
T-Bone said back in the 90s, we could only hear about most of them, and there wasn't YouTube to pull it up instantly. But yeah, YouTube, you can find anything nowadays.
Exactly. So, like I said, at first I was like, man, you tripping, but it's really all about, are you teaching these kids about the greats? Like nowadays kids may say, oh, Chris Brown is the best artist ever. You're going to be like, okay, he's dope, but let me show you about Michael Jackson or, Prince or, whatever, whoever it is. So it's all about how you show.
I still have the argument about Eminem and Tupac, and I'm all about Tupac. It's better than Eminem. I love Eminem, but I have that conversation constantly with my cousins. So
let them know, Joe. West Coast.
See, that's another thing. My brother showed me Biggie and Tupac and Beastie Boys. Like if you just have people around you to show you this stuff, then you'll be good to go.
Yep, that is correct. So our special guest, he is working on his connection so he could be live and in living color. So definitely share this stream right now. Like it. Let's get these people, these numbers up, get more people tuned in because we have an incredible second hour coming up on the platform Sports Talk Show. I'm going to stick with the basketball talk right now. Going back to the NBA. As of right now, the Chicago Bulls stand Got some problems right now with your Bulls, man. They losing. They lost 4 in a row as of right now. Number 2, Miami Heat. They came out of nowhere. Now they rolling. Number 2 spot, my wife's team, or more so because of KD, the Brooklyn Nets. They are in 3rd place. Now this team here, Joe, is definitely a surprise. I did not see this coming that fast, but the Cleveland Cavaliers are in 4th place in the Eastern Conference. They are 27-18. They are balling. And like I said, I didn't see it happening as fast, but this team is playing on all cylinders. They're playing tough. They're playing good ball. So shouts out to them. And they currently have a 5-game winning streak as well. In 5th place, you have the Milwaukee Bucks. In 6th place, the Philadelphia 76ers. 7th spot, the Charlotte Hornets. 8th spot, the Washington Wizards. So they are holding on. In the West, number 1 seed, we have the Phoenix Suns. Number 2, you have the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson, he's getting better and better. Of course, it takes a few games to get that rhythm, get everything right. He had a great game last night, so watch out. I mentioned this team last week, Memphis Grizzlies. They previously had like a 9 to 10 game winning streak. It got recently snapped, but then they won yesterday against the. Was that yesterday or against? No, that was Monday. They played the Bulls on MLK Day and won that game. 4th spot, the Utah Jazz. 5th spot, the Mavericks. 6th, the Denver Nuggets. 7, Minnesota Timberwolves. 8th, Los Angeles Lakers. Which brings me to my last question before you leave, Joe. I want to talk about LeBron James real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers, 22-22. AD, he's not playing because he's hurt. Of course, they call him street clothes. That's Charles Barkley's nickname for AD. And then now word is that the Lakers are monitoring Frank Vogel, the head coach, on a day-by-day, game-by-game basis. I personally don't feel like he deserves to be the, of course, because he's the coach, be the scapegoat because you haven't had AD, you haven't had other guys to come in at all, like Kendrick Nunn. He hasn't played 1 game at all. So you haven't had the full roster. He shouldn't be to blame for this team not playing well. LeBron James took ownership the other day. He said, Lakers fans, I apologize. We're going to do better. I don't feel like Frank Vogel should be that scapegoat or should be fired. It's not his fault that some guys aren't healthy. That's on them. But in regards to LeBron James, as things are, how things are looking right now, I don't see another championship in sight. And you see him balling. He's been scoring like 30 points a game over the last few games. He's been dominating, but it's like everybody else really hasn't been doing their job, or they just could be too old. For you who are that NBA purists who love LeBron James, even if you can't stand him, you kind of sort of feel bad for him now because he's in this kind of situation where the team just ain't looking good, but he's doing his thing, but the teammates aren't doing, they're not up to par.
I mean, it's hard for me to feel bad for someone who's got a couple rings and he's making more money than I could even imagine. But I mean, yeah, it sucks, like if he's doing this all by himself, what Miss Williams say, as we saw in Cleveland, LeBron can't do it all by himself. Yeah, like you have to have other guys around you helping out, that's for sure. But I wouldn't say I feel bad for him. It's just he's experiencing something that he hasn't really experienced before in his professional career, and that's some losing. They're 500 from what you said. So yeah, I mean it happens sometimes. It's not like I don't even know how old LeBron is. He's still performing, but he won't be playing in the game much longer. not much longer, but he's getting on the older side. So, but I can't feel bad for him. I feel bad for Mike Trout, who's never won anything, and he's on a terrible team, and he's the only one that does anything. But he's won a couple things.
LeBron is 37 years old.
I don't even know what's old in basketball, honestly.
I don't know. LeBron, well, I want to say who was I think Vince Carter was the oldest person to be in the league until he retired last year. Let's see, oldest NBA player. Let's find out real quick. Oh no, I'm sorry. Udonis Haslam is currently the oldest player in the league right now. But in history, check out this name, Nat, like Nat Hickey. Nat Hickey was 45 years old when he left the game. Kevin Willis, I remember him. He was 44. Robert Parrish was 43, and then Vince Carter. But right now, I believe Udonis Haslam is the oldest active player in the game right now, and he is 41 years old.
So I mean, he's got like a handful of years left. And how many rings does LeBron have?
LeBron has, I believe, 4.
Yeah, I mean, I can't feel bad for that. That's like feeling bad if Brady loses the Super Bowl. I don't feel bad. I wanted him to win, but.
And going back to a few comments before we bring in our special guest, Ms. Williams says, yes, as we saw in Cleveland, LeBron can't do it up by himself. Yes, he needs his support staff to step up.
But yeah, you can't do it all by yourself.
And then, yes, Vogel won 2 years ago, and it's already being evaluated. It's kind of like, golly, tip of the tongue, Joe Madden from the Cubs.
Yeah.
He won, and then 2 years later, they like, oh, is he still the guy?
I don't think he broke the oldest, curse,
right?
In like any professional sport, winning the ring with the Cubs, and then a couple of years later, they had a 500 season, and that was it.
Right.
I'm happy he's gone, but I just don't get that.
Then T-Bone says, I don't feel bad for the guy who has more control over his team than anyone else I've ever seen.
That's also true.
Right. LeBron has also been active for longer than most players his age. He came into the league at 18 years old, or 17, 18. Carmelo has to be older than LeBron, and which I believe that is true. Let's find out. Carmelo. Let's see. Carmelo Anthony is same age, but he's a few months older than LeBron James. His birthday is in May. LeBron is in December, so just by a few months. So it's not like it's a huge difference. But yes, that's our NBA talk. And Joe, I know that you have to go, so thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks again. Always enjoy it and have fun with our special guest today, talking about a different sport.
Yes, I look forward to this. So, Joe, have a great one and see you next week.
All right, you too. Bye, guys.
All right. Once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. And before we bring in our special guests, take this time out right now, people. Share this stream, like it. Let's get as many people tuned in because we have a very, very, very special guest who's going to come through and drop some knowledge in regards to a sport that you don't really hear about or see about. But tonight is definitely going to get that exposure. Before I do that, don't forget, every first of the month, Ladies' Night, the second season begins next month. So get ready for that, people. Sharita, Bunny will be back. Of course, Joe and Annie. Look forward to the ladies holding things down. And then in March, the last Wednesday of the month, the Man Cave. Ooh, I'm just saying, y'all. I'm getting excited. Stay tuned for the announcement of who's going to be on the panel. It's going to be dope. It's going to be the best Man Cave experience that you will ever experience in your lifetime. Just saying, y'all. Get ready. So, without any further ado, y'all, it is that time. And yes, T-Bone, if you don't recall, Carmelo in Syracuse, he was a beast, won a national championship. I believe he was a player of the year as a freshman. And then he was out. Like, you know what? I did my thing. Now I'm out. But speaking of doing your thing, this man here, I've known this guy, met this guy, should I say, while I was in the circuit DJing for spoken word events. He came out, shouts out to Word Up. They're about to celebrate 7 years in the game very soon. So shouts out to Energy, holding things down. But I met this dude doing the circuit very good spoken word artist, rapper, entertainer. Then I saw him doing this thing on social media, engaging with the people. I want to say like before TikTok got big, like this dude was straight doing his thing, social media wise. He would have like this little game show. We'll ask him about it later on, but he had this cool little game show where he'll ask people like a few questions to see if they knew the answers to it, stuff like that. Super hilarious. I'll let him explain his social media pages and everything very soon. He also is the owner of Swoop Transportation. So you heard about your different car services. You already know what it is. But Swoop Services here, this man, he saved my life a few times. I had to get a ride going to and from work. He held things down for me, and the business has expanded and expanded and expanded. He's doing big things. And now he is a professional rugby player. This dude is down to earth. Very cool dude. Look forward to having his story told. He's been on the show before. I'm going to send him a little reminder. Let y'all see it for yourselves. But without any further ado, we're going to bring in my boy. They call him Terell Johnson on the platform Sports Talk Show. What's going on, dude?
What's up? What's good, my guy? How you feeling?
Man, I'm doing well. It's good to have you on the show again, man. How you been?
I've been good, putting in that work, trying to get better at everything I do.
Hey, I feel you on that, man. Before we go any further, I have to bring up a clip. And the very first time you was on the show, we was at You already know. The very first time he was on the show, and I had to ask him, about his background. And people, this is what happened. Enjoy. On Instagram saying we got a good show.
Yeah.
Glad that you got you on. Let everybody know what you do, man.
So what I do is my main occupation is I'm actually a plumber. I lay pipe for a living.
We slide over down a little further. Mr. Marcus or some Mario Brothers? We are talking Mario Brothers.
And then
Oh man, that's hilarious.
He lays pipe for a living.
That's what I do. That's what
I do.
I do.
Man, that was like one of the highlights, man, from that episode. Shouts out to Smoke Session. We had a fun time. It was shouts out to B Baker, Stan, of course, and Sadal. That was such a fun show.
Man, yes, sir.
Man, the pipe layer,
That's
man.
funny you had that clip, bro. That's funny.
I had to bring it up, man. I had to bring it up. But other than that, man, once again, what's been going on with you?
You know what I'm saying? The usual rugby. You know what I'm saying? Season about to start back up, but of course, I've been doing my own little thing, working out before the season start back, making sure I try to be better than everybody I come across. You know what I'm saying? And the usual, being a dad, just like you. Shout out to you, my guy, for being a great father.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man.
the
normal Swoop Transportation going crazy.
Hey, I love it, man. I love to see, people who I've, been able to cross paths with continue to just do big things, man. And our faithful follower, Miss Williams, showing you love. You can see on your screen right now. What you say is welcome to
it's hard. Hey.
Oh, yeah. The people commenting. So that's why I said, everyone, bring them comments saying if you have any questions, any funny stories, whatever it is. As long as it's suitable for people to see it, go ahead and bring it, and I'll go ahead and post it.
Spill the beans.
I'll go ahead and post it on the screen. So before we even get to sports, as I said on the intro for you, I met you through Word Up. You was holding yourself down as an artist, rapper, spoken word artist. What was it about doing those things that made you fall in love with it?
Because I can express myself and I can talk my shit without getting in trouble. It gave me a platform of like free expression. You know what I'm saying? Like, because certain platforms you can't talk how you want to talk and say words that you want to say, but like on the microphone, It's a place to escape and just say whatever you want to say, like spilling it all. And that's a place where I can do that. So that's what really brought me to like spoken word and stuff.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And what was your impressions as you started to come out in regards to Word Up? What was your impressions of Word Up then, and in regards to yours truly holding things down?
I was loving Word Up. Word Up was it's crazy because you can see the progression of how it started to like how it is now, like from like graphics and like the things they post for promo. You know what I'm saying? From right on Flex. You know what I'm saying? From things that they post to promo and like how, you know, Energy was my girl. That's my dog. And of course you DJing on the ones and twos, man. And Louis Confliction.
Yeah.
Y'all three as a combo, the night is going crazy. Crazy. It's fun for everybody. It's energetic. It's lit. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? It makes people comfortable to want to get up and get on the mic. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Word Up is definitely a special place for sure.
Yeah. Miss Williams, her son, Ed, he and his band member, they came through to Word Up. They did an incredible job. They were a different type of band, like a what do you call it, a folk band, and they came in and brought different vibes. Him and Ashley, they brought different vibes. Their band's called Witherward. Check them out.
What do you mean by folk band? What type of instruments is in a folk band, or is it just a style of music?
It's just style of music. They both can play guitar or keyboard or whatever, but it's just a style of music. And they are incredible, and they brought a whole different vibe. Cause you know how Word Up is, you know, you have the hip hop, your R&B, you know, pretty much, but they brought something totally different, but it captivated everybody, and they were amazed. And the performance that they had, it was just incredible. So shouts out to them. Yeah. They both play acoustic guitar.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
well, when you said folk band, I was thinking of banjo or something. I was like, what? We going folk style?
Hey, you know, they could. I think they had someone who, you know, played different instruments too. Like, I'm not sure, you know, if it is the banjo or whatever, but they have fill-ins every now and then, and they just do an incredible job. So shouts out to Witherward. But yeah, as you were saying, man, Word Up definitely was a fun time. I was doing it for about 4 or 5 years. It was definitely Tuesday nights were definitely a vibe during my time. So I'll always have love for Word Up. And like I said, that's how I met you. And we connected. It was pretty cool. And then, like we said before, you was on the show a few years back. You was supposed to have been on again, but then I know a personal matter happened, so you couldn't make it at that time. But Miss Williams, there you go. You got the page for Witherward. So just check them out, y'all.
We'll check them out. We're gonna check them out.
Just put in Witherward and check them out. They travel, they do their thing. But going back, man, in regards to yourself, we talked about this earlier about rugby and the whole nine, but let's now get into just the overall about you in sports. When would you say was that moment that you fell in love with sports?
Man, I fell in love with sports early. I want to say about 6 years old when I first went out for a football team, and I loved it. It was always the fastest player. It was always like first in warm-ups to get done. About 6 years old. I say about 6 years old is when I first grew a passion for football.
Okay, so the first sport was football, right?
The first sport was football. I thought I was going to be a Marshall Falk, a Devin Hester, but somewhere in life, my life took a wild turn and went to rugby.
Man, so you brought up Marshall Falk, Devin Hester. Who else was some of your stars in football that you looked up to?
Back then when I was growing up, it was like Dante Hall, Champ Bailey. I was looking at cornerbacks and like kick returners. That's all I wanted to do was play corner and kick return. I ain't care about like getting the ball in any other play except like kick return and punt return and corner, so I could do what Devin Hester did. That man was crazy.
Yes, he was, man. That dude was special, as what Stephen A. always like to say, Stephen A. Smith. So as you were coming up, playing different sports or playing football, should I say now, were you playing a lot with family, or was it a neighborhood, or was it like a YMCA type thing?
So first, I ain't gonna lie, I went out for like a team that my cousin Tony was playing for like, I think it was like 7, 8 years old. And I'm talking about, I was juking everybody. And then the coach was like, you know what, Terell, for this drill, I want you to run straight. I'm like, okay. So I got the rock. I'm running straight. I got drilled. I got hit. I'm talking about, couldn't catch my breath. I got hit. I said, you know what? I don't want to play football no more. I don't even want to do this. I don't know what I signed myself up for. This ain't what's supposed to be happening. I can't breathe, mama. You know what I'm saying? So I took a break from football at that young age, but my mom was like getting on me about quitting. So I picked it back up soon, about 10, 11 years old.
That's what's like, yeah, man. Football would definitely do it to you. It's like what Mike Tyson always says, you know, a person's always strong until the first hit. There's like,
let's see
what
out, yeah.
Let's see what happens now. You know, I mean, I remember I played football. I played for Matthew Dickey when I was like 8, 9 years old.
You played for Matthew Dickey?
Yeah, I played for the Bulldogs back in the day. It's
all
like,
right.
It's like
got that JFL stamp. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, I want to say it was like late 80s, early 90s when I played. But I was a tight end on offense. Then on defense, I was a defensive tackle. You probably like, what? You was? But no, I was a beast. So like anytime I had a sack, you would hear in the PA system, he'll say, another sack by Ready Freddy.
There's your nickname. That's hard.
Yeah. So on offense, though, I never caught a pass. Never had a play even ran for me during the game. But then the coach finally called a play. So I'm like, oh, here we go. My moment. I'm about to shine. Let's go. Yeah. So the play was called, right? I ran my route. I'm wide open. I turn around. And like throughout the whole game, this didn't even happen. But the time that my play was called, I turned around and the quarterback got sacked. And that was the only time. That was the only time I ever had a play call. And like after that moment, I'm like, man, I'm done with football, man. This ain't.
They did you wrong.
It's like, you know, it's a sign that it ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't play football anymore, but I always have the love for the game and respect for those who play the game. I know you have a comment here. Let me check it out real quick. Your boy says now he jukes everyone in rugby.
That's true. That's true. Well, bro, what really made me good at rugby is because, to make a long story short, in football, you know, like I play like 10, 11, 12, 13, unlimited weight, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we did our thing on JFL, but when it got to high school, I was a bench warmer. Like, I was on special teams a little bit, but, like, as far as, like, my potential I felt like I had, like, I was a bench warmer, you know what I'm saying? And the varsity coach is like, yo, you're just too small to play football. And I'm like, all right, I remember that. And then I go in the weight room, and in the weight room, they got people that went to our high school that is now in like the NFL, you know what I'm saying, at the time. And then like little posters of them or whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be on that wall. I'm gonna be pro or something. You know what I'm saying? So college came. I knew I was too small for the football team. I felt like, because they was lifting 2 a days, 5 in the morning, go to class and then lift and do some workout in the evening time, and then, you know, watch film or whatever. I knew I couldn't get with that program. They had a lineup for like the next 4 years at the college I went to, SEMO. And I found rugby at SEMO in college. You know what I'm saying? That's actually when I first heard of it. My roommate was like, yo, you should play rugby then if you don't want to play football. I'm like, rugby? What the fuck is that? What is rugby? So I went out for practice. Was kind of doing good. Got better over time. And then, slowly just start getting more involved in rugby. And now I auditioned for a pro league. And then in Memphis, I drove down to audition in like October. And then ended up making it, you know. So, I just continue to work on my skills. Because I know personally I got some things to work on, but, you know.
So before we even get down to that road, let's go back to high school. What school did you go to?
McClure North.
Hey, okay. So what sports did you play in high school?
I played football, baseball, and wrestling for my first 2 years. And then my last 2 years, I just committed to wrestling.
Okay. So what was it about wrestling that captivated your attention?
beating people up.
It was a way to express anger and to get it out legally.
Right. That's how you beat somebody up without getting in trouble. You know, go to a
Right,
wrestling
right.
match.
Between that and
Yeah.
boxing, hey, you know, you in there.
Yeah,
Stress
but
reliever.
wrestling was, yeah, I'm most definitely, and it was like teaching me discipline. I had to watch my weight. It like gave me something to do constantly because wrestling is something you can practice at home in your room. You know what I'm saying? Like stance drills or practice your shot or whatever. So no matter what, outside the classroom, it was always something to work on. So I think that's another reason why I fell in love with wrestling and just was like, all right, I'm gonna commit my last 2 years to just wrestling, and go for the gold. And it gave me a lot of work ethic and discipline that I use now. So
Did you achieve any awards or possible state championships during your high school career?
no state championships. I was supposed to. I was like ranked to be like at a point in time. I was like ranked 8th in the state senior year. I was supposed to be a big name. I couldn't keep my weight down. Couldn't keep my weight together. I wasn't disciplined enough for the food. I wasn't that disciplined enough to keep my weight together. So I ended up missing like districts by 0.1. Like I
Wow.
had to be 112 and I was 112.1 on every scale. I was spitting, trying to throw up, trying to use the bathroom. I was trying to do everything, but I lost by 0.1. I missed weight by 0.1. Cried my heart out, cried my soul out. You know what I'm saying? We had a whole lineup full of flawless wrestlers, and I had to fill my spot. And definitely couldn't beat the guy in the next weight, so I had to, have my weight class fulfilled, and I couldn't keep my weight together. So, yeah, that ruined my senior year of wrestling.
That's crazy. But how important was it for you as you look back at it now in high school? Was it how important was it to play multiple sports?
Very important, because especially if you like don't know which sport you want to fulfill, you know what I'm saying? You kind of get a feel of all of them. And you always want to be like multi-talented because each sport can help you doing the next sport. Like wrestling help with football help with wrestling, or like with aggressiveness on the court or whatever. So I feel like each sport can definitely kind of like check and balance the other sport. So definitely important for multiple sports.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I definitely encourage that too, man. Definitely just play different sports, see what's happening. Don't don't just box yourself into this one thing. See what's up.
Right.
You never know. Like when I was in high school, I went to the V. So I played
All right.
basketball, I played baseball, I played tennis, and I played soccer. I never thought
Tennis.
I'd play.
All right.
Yeah. I never thought I played, I would play tennis and soccer, but I love playing both those sports. But yeah,
Mhm.
and I think you said track earlier too, correct?
No, I didn't say track,
Okay,
but
you didn't do
I
track.
should have. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you kind of had that build to me like you did play. I mean, did run track, but
Everybody
shoot,
asks me that.
I kind of wish that I did pursue track more. Even though I played baseball and basketball and I was known for for speed, I just didn't really like running a lot, especially long distances. I couldn't stand it. I don't want to do
I
no
feel you on that.
what you call them things that they have my country
Cross country.
cross country and
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. Nah. I'm good on that.
I'm straight. No, I don't mind doing a 100, whatever 200, whatever it is. But in regards to
Yeah.
the cross country and in the Olympics running 10 laps around, I don't know about that one. But hey,
Right.
I do wish I would have pursued that more. Though. I think I would have had a even better build during my younger years. But that's here or
Yeah.
there. So
Most definitely.
you say you went to SEMO. So was that off of a
Yep.
scholarship?
No scholarship at all. I signed up. I wouldn't even. To be honest, I was deciding if I was gonna go to college. I made a last minute decision. Like I got accepted a long time ago, like maybe a year early, but I didn't like do any paperwork or sign up for my apartment or my dorm until like the last day possible. Like I was like, all right, I'm going. Let's go. The last day possible. End up going, and I'm glad I went.
That's what's up, man. So then, as you were saying before, football this wasn't in the cards, but then you was told about rugby. What was your? I know you said a little bit already, but what was just your initial thought about rugby, especially when you found out about the game after you started going to practices?
Man, so I found out about it at 18. 18. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why ain't I found out about this before? But, you know, rugby is not big in a, black community, let alone America is at first.
Right,
And then, like,
right.
the black community itself is like, just mainly football and basketball. So, what did I major in at SEMO? So I majored in dancing and minored in acting. So, I did have to take like a ballet course within my jazz course. But
Wow.
I'm still gangster because Tupac used to do ballet. So, you know what I'm saying? Real thugs do ballet. If you don't do ballet, I don't think you're a thug. You know what I'm saying? So,
And truthfully, I mean, just to add on to that, professional football players be taking ballet, or they'll hire a dance choreographer or someone to come and do personal training. So that's how they can be so light on their toes and doing certain moves. Like I was watching who I call, in my era, the best running back ever, and that's Barry Sanders. This dude here, he was that running back that he rarely, you know how like in Madden when a running back or a receiver can get trucked by a player?
Yeah.
This dude here was so quick and evasive. He never took a hard blow. He always knew where the person was. He knew how to maneuver around them, but he never took a hard hit. He'll get tackled, but he never got popped. You know what I'm saying? And like you were saying, doing dance, ballet, whatever. I respect that because it's going to make you lighter. It's going to make you, evasive. And like, look at what you're doing right now with your career. So, hey, shouts out to you on that, man, doing the whole
right on. I take that.
Yeah. So
I take that. Yeah, that's why I started, but then I ended up like switching to criminal justice, and then I was like, all right, I'm going back to dancing. So yeah, that's it right there.
It's okay, criminal. I'm dancing again, and then I'm pretty sure that was an opportunity for you to, be around some ladies too.
Oh yeah, definitely was a lot of ladies in the class, and I had to lift them up too. Find a partner.
Hey, my guy. Let's see. Miss Williams says, I can see the dance can help with sports with the exactly. Definitely. Especially that agility, knowing how to be elusive. Like, can't catch me. And then Miss Williams says dance also takes a lot of stamina.
Mm-hmm.
And I see my style of dance wasn't about ballerinas dance or whatever, but ballet. It was in the club, like, oh, what's up? Do my little moves. that was my dancing back in the day.
Two-stepping in the club.
There you go. Quick walking and everything. See, walk with
all
it. Boom. I got you.
The bankhead bounce up in that thing.
There we go. Harlem shake with it. Boom, boom, what?
And that joint going crazy.
Doing all of that. Ms. Williams also says rugby reminds her of a cross between soccer and football, but with fewer rules. So, with that being said, for those who may not be that knowledgeable, because like you say, it's not that popular in the Black community, and especially in America now, it's getting to a point, it's on ESPN every now and then, whatever.
Yeah.
But for those, can you just explain the game of rugby, the rules, the whole nine?
So first of all, the game of rugby is no pads, you know what I'm saying? So we don't wear no protection. You might be able to wear like a scrum cap, which is like a thin helmet, like very thin, you know what I'm saying? But it helps. And yeah, you might see a lot of players be taped up, but that's pretty much it as far as protection goes. And the rules of rugby is you can only pass it backwards or lateral, so you have to be to the side, you know what I'm saying? Hit it to the side, or you pass it behind you, or you might hit like a move where somebody like switch right behind you and go that way, you know what I'm saying? So you can only pass it backwards. The only way to pass it forward is if you kick it. So how that works is like if I'm running the ball and my teammate is next to me, I can kick it as I get tackled, and I go down and he can keep chasing the ball, and everybody behind him can chase the ball, go catch it, and try to score. You know what I'm saying? So, and also when you get tackled, you can get back up. Football, you get tackled, beep, whistle blow. Got to huddle back up, call a play, and then go back out there. rugby is non-stop. If you get tackled and you're not covered, probably you can get right back up. Or if you get tackled and you know they kind of own you, you can release the ball, then get back up and go. But what normally happens is when you get tackled, it causes a ruck. So your team will like kind of like what you want to call it. They will ruck over you, which is like I want to give like a visual demonstration, but let's say I go down, I get tackled. My teammate will come over the top of me to protect me and the ball, and then I will like push the ball backwards, and then the next person will get the ball and then pass it out. Right?
But so it's kind of like a center hiking to a quarterback.
Yeah. Except I'm actually on the ground if I just got tackled. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. Yeah.
Got you.
But at the same time, as I'm getting tackled and my teammate is coming over me, the defense can like push us off and get the ball and go. You know what I'm saying? So it's a battle right there for the ball. And whoever's covering me has to be tough and protect the ball and me. So the defense don't get the ball.
Man, and
yeah, it's a lot of
I've seen a few games, and it looks like Miss Williams did too. She watched a few games on NBC on Saturday.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Watch them games.
But one thing I've noticed, it's a lot of big, strong, athletic cats on that field.
Man, these dudes is huge. I'm talking about these dudes is huge. That's why I run so fast, so I don't get tackled by them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. But another thing is, you know, you can't be scared to tackle anybody. You know, it's gonna be a sumo wrestler versus a tiny little ant. I'm the tiny little ant, and you got to bring them down. You know what I'm saying? So you got to stay in that pocket with them and hold your ground and tackle them. You got to go at it. I'm talking about no pads, no equipment, perfect technique. Just tackle them.
That's
crazy. So, yeah, these dudes not little, man. They not weak. This sport is, man, these dudes are solid. Everybody that plays, you know what I'm saying, solid.
And I can't recall what movie I watched. It was like one of them like Nelson Mandela movies that came out. I think it was Morgan Freeman who played Nelson Mandela or someone like that. I can't recall who it was. Forgive me. But I think rugby was like a big part of that movie. And I was just like, I think that kind of helped me get more fascinated with the game because you kind of like saw more of what they go through in rugby. Yep. And like I said, just seeing those big guys and seeing the object of the game. So is everyone like trained to learn how to kick with accuracy and power?
No, not at all. Everybody is not trained, but you can learn on your own. So that's definitely a skill you want to have. But not everybody has that, you know what I'm saying? So having a foot to kick is definitely a special add-on that you want to have in your game because that's a move you can do. You can kick it up to yourself and go catch it, or you can kick it to your teammate. Or a lot of times when we got a kick for touch, which means like we kick the ball out of bounds, or wherever the ball goes out of bounds, that's where we get the spot of the ball. So, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely a special skill to have to be able to kick, but not everybody is taught that. It's something you got to learn on your own most time.
Ms. Williams wants to know, what is a scrum?
What is a scrum? A scrum is what happens when you have a scrum half, which is kind of like the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So let's say 5 on offense and 5 on defense. You know, they like interlock 5 or 6. You interlock like this. I'm gonna do it this way: offense, defense. You interlock, right? And you get in position to get ready to push each other. And then the scrum halves right here, they feed the ball in right through there, and then you want to try to fight to get the ball, right? So if I feed the ball in right here, and then we push, and we win the scrum, that means we get the ball, pick up the ball, and then go out. But if defense win the scrum, then defense get the ball. So scrum is basically like a fight for the ball, you know, but we interlock to form the technique where we push. So it'd be 3 up front, 2 in the middle, 1 in the back, I think. You know, I'm not a big guy, so I don't know. I don't use the scrum. You see how tiny I am? I run the ball and go chase everybody. I'm not in the scrum. I don't want no smoke. I'm waiting to get the ball out to give it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you like, hey, I'm a brand. I can't be in all that mess. Y'all just passing the ball when y'all got it.
That's for the big dudes, man. That's for the big dudes.
So you literally in rugby, like you said, not everyone is accustomed to kicking the ball or whatever, or even having the ball and running. You just have guys who are just the pound guys.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely like the big dudes are definitely there to hit, scrum, win the scrum, and just crash and create holes. You know what I'm saying? So interesting. I've seen them, but you can never tell what's happening underneath all the players. Yeah, it can get dirty under in a scrum game. It can get dirty. I've heard some stories, So a lot of players get cauliflower from like bumping so hard. I'm talking about the big guys really go at it. I thank God for all the big guys that I ever played with because they got to do the dirty work.
Yeah, and speaking of that, as you was telling me about, having little to no helmets at all and no pads, and I know this is a hot topic over the last few years, but what about the possibility of concussions? Has that really been a problem in rugby?
I would say medium. I mean, you definitely might get a concussion or two throughout your career. I definitely had one. I've had teammates that don't play anymore because of their concussion or like medical, can't come back for a certain amount of time. Concussions is definitely a thing, but I think there's probably more concussions in football, believe it or not. Yeah, I think there's more. I think scientific study shows that it's like way more concussions in football, but it's definitely injuries in rugby though. Like I've had bruised ribs, definitely had some nose injuries, just leaking all on my jersey. I've had teammates with their nose broken, and like at halftime, I'm like, "Yo, your nose is like up to your eye, bro. Like, you good?"
Wow.
And he's like, "Yeah, hold on, just crack it back in place and hop back out." I've seen people lose teeth. Man, any injury you name it, like, is definitely liable to happen in rugby. We don't have no pass. It's just hard body on hard body.
Man, that is crazy. Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. I am your boy Smooth, along with special guest
Terell, yes sir.
There we go. No rehearsal needed. He already ready for the big time, baby, on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Keep them shares going. Continue to bring them comments. Do not be shy. Let's get it in on your Wednesday night sports delight. So you told us about pretty much the rules of the game. You know, how you can't pass forward, only kick forward, pass to the side or behind you, the scrum.
Yep.
What about the point system? How does that go?
So at the end, it ends up being like football. You know, football touchdown is worth 6, and rugby a try. It's called a try. You know, and it's worth 5 points. But the extra point is worth 2. Just like you kick it in football, the extra point conversion is worth 2, but in football is worth 1. So if I score, first of all, when you cross the line to get into the try zone, which is the touchdown area, you have to place the ball down. If you don't put the ball on the ground, you can still get tackled and somebody will knock your lights out. So when you cross that try line where you scored, you have to put the ball down. And wherever you put the ball down horizontally is where you kick from to score the extra point. So if you score in the corner of the end zone and put the ball down right there, then that's where you had to kick from. So it's a sideways kick to the field goal. You know what I'm saying? If you score right in the middle, then the ball be placed right in the middle. You kick it straight. You score in the other corner, the ball be placed in this corner. Then you got to kick it in the field goal. I mean, through the uprights that way. You know what I'm saying? So 5 points when you score, 2 points for the extra point.
And are the field goal posts the same size in the as the NFL?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they pretty much the same size. Yeah. Yeah.
And then rugby is the same size as the football field. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, because I know I was saying, like the Patriots and Seattle Seahawks, you could tell that rugby, or soccer was played, on the field prior to an actual NFL game.
Yeah, our field might be a little wider though, and the hash marks are different. So we marked the 22, the 50, and the 22 on each side. So we got a lot less lines.
So now that you were familiar a little bit in regards to practice-wise in college playing rugby, how would you say your first couple of games started when you started playing?
My first couple games, it was like just get the ball and run, just get the ball and go. Now I'm way more aware of like game situations and field awareness. So I'm like, all right, get the ball and go. But let me look and see if we got another play open or another hole open, or maybe I try to kick today. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm still working on my kicking. My kicking has gotten way better from when I first started playing. So yeah, definitely a lot more skills and a lot more tricks to try than when I first started. Just get the ball and just run as hard as you can. Now it's like get the ball and think of all the options you can do. You know, so definitely way more options now.
That's what's up. So
Yeah.
earlier, oh, I'm sorry. Can you show that rugby ball again?
Yes, sir. Look like this right here.
So how
What it
much
look like?
bigger is it compared to a football?
I knew I should have brought a football. It's bigger than a football. It's way
Yeah.
bigger than it's like you know what I'm saying? Like this thing is kind of huge and it's flat. So, you know, but a football is probably was like 1.5 times a football. Twice as big, somewhere up in there. So, you know what I'm saying? Big ball. You gotta hold it like this. That's how you hold it. Kind of like sideways.
Right.
Football, you like tuck it like this. Rugby, you kind of like hold it like this. You want to be able to whip it out and pass at any given moment. You know what I'm saying?
And the opponents can try to strip the ball from you. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, they can strip
Okay.
it, they can intercept it. You know what I'm saying? But if you, I forgot to tell you, if you drop it and the ball goes forward, if you drop it forward, it's called a knock on, and it's the other team ball. But if you
Wow.
drop it and it goes behind you, you know what I'm saying? You can get back on it and get the ball. But as long as you catch it, you good. But if you drop it forward, it's the other team ball. Ref gonna blow the whistle.
Yeah. See, now you got me interested checking out some games, more games myself, man. Just now that you told me some
Yeah,
more
you
stuff
got
about
to.
the game, you know, definitely
got
got to
to.
support, man. So, how would you say your overall time in college at SEMO went after you started playing rugby?
It definitely paid off, you know, because my time at SEMO introduced me to the game, and you know, look where it's at now. So being at SEMO definitely paid off, you know, definitely.
Let's see, Miss Williams says, I guess that goes with no forward passes, right? Because forward pass
Right.
means you give it to the
Yeah.
other team.
Yeah,
So,
you cannot do that. It's illegal. You cannot hit one of these. Well, I mean, you can if it's going backwards, you know, but you can't do it forward, or it's a call. They're calling that other team ball for a pass.
and see, she wants to know, is there a national U.S. rugby organization?
Yep, it's called USA Rugby. USA Rugby. They are the, you know, umbrella for all the club teams, pro team. I don't know if the pro teams are under there, but yeah, USA Rugby is the umbrella of like all rugby
So now with
in America.
you playing professionally, first off, how does it feel for you to now be known as a professional rugby player? Because I
I
recall
feel
it was a post that I seen on Facebook, someone that you knew, and they were like, "Oh, that's my dude right there," and I'm like, "Oh, this
yeah,
on ESPN." So I clicked on it and
yeah,
saw it. I'm like, "Hey," and the announcer called your name. I was talking about your game and how impressed they were, but like
yeah.
just the feeling of knowing that you're on a big time network and you're playing professionally. How does it make you feel as an athlete?
It feels good, man. It's overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Especially coming from where I came from. You know, from people telling me you got to stop playing rugby and make some money. You know, when I was at my lowest, or like people not supporting the choice to play rugby, and you know, for me getting in trouble, and you know, just it's a great feeling, and for me to always want to have that and then get it, like it was my dream to always come out in the tunnel, and then when I went, you know, pro in the pro league, we came out in the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And it was my dream to play on TV so my family could watch me, and anybody that support me can watch me. Then we was on, you know, Fox Sports. And I'm like, yo, this is a dream come true. And then it's all little like cameo and B-roll footage that people caught that you might catch floating around, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I love that. that hit. That was a dream come true.
Yeah, man. And like I said, I was totally excited when I saw you on the Big Time Network. I'm like, go ahead on,
Yeah.
man. I know that dude.
Yeah, I'm like, you see me? Hey, I'm here, baby. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
out here. I'm out here. So
Yeah.
playing as a professional, I mean, of course, you can't like try to compare it to any other, like NFL because you haven't been there or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
do you have that feeling of like a rock star now that you're playing professionally, knowing that
Most
knowing that
definitely.
it is rugby?
Yeah, most definitely. Because, playing in St. Louis, and then playing pro, like the pro like level is like, man, they treat you like a guy. They treat you like the most special person in the world. Like, hey, you need anything before the game? We got you. We just want to make sure you play the best that you can play. I don't care. They don't care if you need tacos before the game or a Snicker. They will go get it for you. You know what I'm saying? They take care of your body. It's like every day you get to have recovery, and it's like a moment where you can just focus fully on your sport. In St. Louis, before I got to the pro level, it was like, you get hurt, you gotta kind of like find some type of physical trainer on your own and make calls and make an appointment, or grab a beer. That's the main thing you hear. All right, you'll be all right, take a beer. You know what I'm saying? Kind of cutthroat, but that's how it is. It's just not big enough in some areas to where they have a huge program like that to have physical trainers and medical beds and, but on a pro level, man, you're getting a special treatment. I was in the trainer's office every day, getting my back rubbed on, getting taped up, just getting the whole nine. I was taking advantage of that. I'm like, hey,
Right.
I don't get this at home. Let me go ahead and get all that. So, yeah, it's definitely rock star treatment.
So as you brought up earlier, just about the popularity of rugby. Now that you are a professional player, what are some things that
Cool.
you feel needs to be done to get the game of rugby to be a more of a household thing, to get more awareness out there?
Definitely, hit the communities where rugby lacks. St. Louis is definitely creating a youth rugby. They already have a youth rugby team and community going on, but there's another program that's being created to help spread the love of rugby, and it's called St. Louis Inner City Rugby. They're going to start spreading the love and getting kids to practice and trying to spread the word of the game. Right now, we got like North County Youth Rugby, and they got a team called the Warriors for like younger kids, and then we got a million clubs in St. Louis. St. Louis Royal Ramblers, which is my home club, the St. Louis Bombers, and it's a lot of Sunday morning. It's a bunch of clubs that are just trying to help spread the word by visiting communities and having events to where they might teach somebody how to play, have clinics to where they teach you how to pass or kick the ball. So it's definitely already in the works. I'm gonna step in big sometime soon with something I've been working on too. So yeah, we're trying to get it all over.
That's what's up, man. And I think once the kids just to get out there and experience it, that of course some may not like it, but I think just getting out there and trying it out, it may surprise some kids, and they may be like, you know what, this ain't bad. Let me tell my boy here, or
Right.
tell so and so there. Is there a league, or is there a league for women as well?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, listen, them women go hard. Them women go hard, boy. Yeah, it's a league for women. Olympic level
Okay.
and pro level and club level. High school too. It's not a lot of high school teams, but it's definitely women's league for sure. Them females go hard. They be hitting and juking just like men.
And they don't be playing. I love it. I love it.
Nah, they
So
don't. They don't.
so right now the team that you play for is Memphis. What's the names?
So the pro club I play for is the Headliners. And
Okay.
then the home team I play for in St. Louis, the club I play for is the Royal Ramblers, doing 15. So rugby has two modes. Well, rugby has a million modes, but the most popular two is 15 versus 15. That's the most traditional way. And then the level that I went pro in is 7-on-7. So it's the same field. Think of a football field, right? They got 11-on-11, but now let's play football with 7-on-7. So it's same thing on the same field, but less people. So it's a lot more running, a lot more hitting, a lot more electrifying and juking going on. So yeah, I went pro in the Premier Rugby Sevens League, Premier Sevens, PR Sevens,
Do
the
you ever
first pro league in America, I think ever actually. So yeah.
do you ever see rugby getting to a point where it'll be like MLS is now?
Where are they at exactly?
In
Like
regards to
you
just
saying
having
like
more fame, getting more cities involved, having MLS be having rugby, excuse me, be like the MLS be more of a household name. Do you feel rugby
yeah,
growing up to get to that level like MLS has gotten to?
most definitely. Rugby is the fastest growing sport in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely growing to the point where it's becoming more of a house.
Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Looks like his video feed left. Okay, there we go.
There we
He's
go. Can
back.
you hear me?
Oh yeah, go ahead and say it again for me. Well, for the people.
I had got a phone call. Can you hear me though?
Oh yeah, go ahead and go back to what you were saying earlier. So now
Technical
they can hear you again.
difficulties. We'll be back after these messages.
Uh-oh. I don't think he can hear me. Give me 1 second.
Smooth.
Can you hear
There
me?
we go.
Can you hear me?
He coming.
Let's see. Let's make sure
So,
that
and further news, anybody see the weather report? I need to know what the weather will be like tomorrow. Because I was planning on training. But the weather gonna be bad and cold, like I heard. I might have to stay in the house. Y'all heard anything about the weather?
hold on 1 second. Let's see.
See if I can see y'all comment too. If you talking smooth, I can't hear you.
All right, everyone, we're gonna check back in with him to see about his connection because
Damn, I
apparently he
can't
can't
get
hear
that
me.
one.
So right now he can't hear me. So I'm gonna see if we can get him back on real quick. Give me 1 second, everyone. This is the platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. Show you a little man cave real quick. Bam. All right, everyone. Sorry for that. He had a phone call and then his connection kind of went a little crazy. So trying to make sure he's good. Let's see. All right, Terell, can you hear me now? Terell, can you hear me?
Oh, I can't hear. All right. Oh, that's my mic. Okay.
You good?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm
now,
good to go.
Now he's back. All right, welcome back. Gotta love technology. You good to go? You good to go? Can you hear me? Oh, I don't think he can hear me.
No. Damn, what the fuck?
Let's see. Hold on, people. Let's find out what's going on. By the way, while y'all waiting, have y'all been enjoying so far the conversation? Have you learned more about rugby? Let me know in the comments. Ms. Williams says, the weather's cold, very cold. I definitely agree. It was pretty chilly, about 20-something degrees, and very chilly. Like she says, NY cold, and I definitely agree with that. Definitely NY cold today. Forgot my gloves. I'm like, man, hands are kind of like, woo. But that's St. Louis for you, and I knew about next month or two, it'll be back hot again. Let's see. See if you can hear me better. Ms. Williams says, I'm loving it. Learned a lot about rugby. And that's what this show is about, everyone. You may not be used to a certain sport or what a person goes through. That's what this show is all about. It's about getting that story told and just having fun with it. This is the journey. It's the experience. So it's all about. Let's see if Terell is back. All right, Terell, can you hear me? If you can't, unmute yourself. Hit that unmute button if you can hear me. Let's see, testing 1 2. Can you hear me? So the people can hear me, but you can't hear me for some reason. You may have to check your. Let's see. You may have to refresh your screen. So sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone. We're working on getting him back in to the feed so he can hear me. But once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Life, the platform sports talk show. Let's see. Okay, he's back on. Let's try it now. All right, Terell, can you hear me now? If you can, thumbs up and then hit unmute. Got to hit unmute on your device. Yeah, he still can't hear me. All right, so we're trying to work it out, everyone. I do apologize. So, once again, he had that phone call, and then something happened with his connection. But Ms. Williams says, I'm loving it. Once again, we appreciate you and others for checking out this show. Says, check his sound settings. Remember, he had issues. Let's see. Yeah, so I told him to check his sound settings. When he had that phone call, something his Bluetooth may have got disconnected from hearing me. But he's going to try to check the sound settings now so we can get him back in. Because it's been a great conversation, and we want to definitely get more into the popularity of rugby. And then he wanted to discuss some NFL talk as well before we go. So definitely stay tuned, people. He says, let me try exiting. So he's going to go ahead and log out and then come back in. So let's give him a few more minutes and see what's going on right now. Ms. Williams, what's going on in the world of NBA right now? I know I have the Hornets and the Boston Celtics game going on. I think Hornets are beating Boston right now. LaMelo Ball doing this thing. Miles Bridges got 22 points. Terry Rozier going back to Boston. He has 28 points. Kelly Oubre looking good with 18 points right now. So Hornets doing their thing. A lot of young and up-and-coming teams are doing their thing right now in the NBA, and that's a very good thing for the league to have these young teams who you may not have thought will be doing a thing so far. They're showing up, like about the Cleveland Cavaliers playing excellent. Memphis Grizzlies, who would have thought, already doing a thing. let's see here. Everyone's beating. That's true, Miss Williams. Everyone is beating Boston right now. Let's see if T-Bone's. I'm sorry, Terell is ready. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey,
I bet.
he's back. So do I turn your phone sideways and then we good to go?
All right, cool. Bet that. Bing, bing. We in, all right? We good?
All right.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back. You got to tell everybody, hey, no phone calls right now. I'm on the platform Sports Talk Show.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that turned off everything. That one phone call.
Yeah, see, Cavs have been very good recently, but they have a tendency to only play 3 quarters. Sound like the Arizona Cardinals.
They got smacked. They got smacked by the Rams, dog.
Yeah.
Odell had more passing yards than Kyler in the third quarter, but yeah, you know.
Hey,
None of my
but it
business.
is. You got to show up when it matters, right? You get paid the big bucks for a reason, so you got to show up. Bottom line.
Exactly.
But going back real quick before we end the conversation with rugby, we were just talking about overall. Do you see rugby being that sport that can make some noise like MLS has been doing recently?
Most definitely. Because rugby is fun to watch, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of tough guys. It's no petty, you know, in soccer, man, they be, what is it called? I don't even know what it's called when you be like over exaggerating flopping. They be flopping.
Right.
In soccer, they be flopping. You step on somebody's toes like But like in rugby, man, I've seen the toughest dudes, but the smallest dudes, and like, man, these people are really tough. Like from any type of injury, the worst injury you could think of, and they still want to play. Like it's crazy, no flopping. Yeah, so it's like tough, entertaining, electrifying. It's fun to watch and it's fun to do. Definitely go take over. And it's the fastest growing sport. So yeah, I definitely see it taking over on the MLS level, even bigger than that. So if for those of you that don't know, rugby is an Olympic sport. So definitely, and USA got a cold team. So definitely will be growing and growing.
Yeah, and I'm sure that that's another goal that you have in mind is to be selected to play for USA. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, for sure. We gotta put that jersey on. Gotta put that USA jersey on. You know what I'm saying? That's the main goal.
That's what's up, man. I definitely wish you nothing but the best in regards to everything you're doing in the game of rugby.
Right on.
Once again, shouts out to you. Proud of you, man. To see you from doing word up to now you doing professional things in rugby. Let's also talk about another thing, another passion of yours you brought up earlier, Swoop Transportation, man. What was it about Swoop Transportation that made you start it, and how you've been able to have this thing start getting big time and booming?
So what made me start it was, you know, I was broke. Just found out I had a son, you know what I'm saying? And I was living with my friend and his mom at their house. So I was like, yo, something got to give. So I finally got enough money to buy a car. People was calling me for a ride anyway. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start giving rides, but charging people. You know what I'm saying? And I dropped a post. That's like, yo, I'm the neighborhood's Uber. I'm open doing booty call hours. You can call me at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. I'll be there to pick you up. And then that post went crazy. Like, people like, yo, you should do this for real. You should make it a real business. I'm like, all right, I got a call that night, taking a dude to the strip club for $10 and picked him up for $10 more. You know what I'm saying? Then it just progressed to where it is now. And man, I enjoy like the conversations I have with people. I enjoy helping people when they need transportation. You know what I'm saying? I want to get them a comfortable, cool ride instead of having a ride with like a major stranger. And, you know, not feeling safe sometimes. You definitely safe and good in my hands or any of my drivers. So, yeah.
And where can people find out about Swoop Transportation?
You can Google Swoop St. Louis, or you can find us on Instagram at Swoop Services, SWOOP Services, or Facebook, Swoop Transportation. You know, they all got like a nice amount of reviews on there you also can check out. And we have a lot of services that a lot of other different transportation companies don't offer.
That's what's up. And as I said before in the intro, I needed a ride after my car accident. 2 years ago.
Yep, I remember that.
And, yep, and he came through. Quick service, very friendly. Whether it was he or one of his homies, they came through and held it down. Definitely appreciate it. So definitely get at Swoop Services. You have the other companies, they cool, but it's a different experience when you have that Swoop. So definitely support Swoop Transportation Services. Before you go, man, once again, it's been an incredible interview. But I know you want to talk about a little bit of NFL. So you said that you are a huge fan of Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, man. So I got the screen up right now. What's your thoughts in regards to the overall NFL playoffs, and who are you going for this weekend?
Let me see what you are up, man. Funny story is Odell is my favorite player too. So like to see these two go head to head, man, I'm scared, dog. I mean, I'm scared because I want Odell to show out, but I want Tom Brady to show out. But unfortunately, both of them can't go. But if I had to pick, I would have to go with the Rams to advance. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa!
Whoa.
No,
you don't like the Rams?
Oh, no. I'm surprised with your pick.
I know, man. I just feel like overall, LA whole team is like, man, if they play like they did last game, man, it's over. But Tom Brady is never giving up, man. 2 minutes left, he gonna score. So it's like, I don't know. You know what? Let me reverse. I don't know. We'll leave that one blank.
Oh no, no halfway. You gotta be all in or not. Can we ride the fence now?
You know what? Tom Brady has never felt me, and he's not gonna fail me now. We're going with Tom Brady. Marking in the books. We're going with Tom Brady.
This man just straight flipped.
I told you them two of my favorite players. And them were two of my favorite players. It's hard. But Tom Brady, man, I'm gonna have to go with Tom Brady. That's my dog, man. I ain't even gonna do him like that. I'm sorry, Tom Brady, for cheating on you and choosing Odell. I'd never do it again.
Hey, I understand.
I'm a boy.
I was leaning to the Rams winning as well, and I'll say this: I won't be surprised if they win. It won't be like oh my god,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You'll be like, okay, because look what they did against the Buccaneers in week 3 or 4, and that was before Odell, before Von Miller. So
exactly.
Yeah. So I won't be surprised if the Rams win.
Right.
A few comments here. Ms. Williams says I wouldn't bet against Tom Brady.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I wouldn't. Yeah, no.
Now we have a comment here. Really, Terell, Tom Brady?
So look, my mom's a big football fan too, right? She still don't like Tom Brady from 99, 2000, when the Patriots cheated the Rams, the St. Louis Rams, out of a Super Bowl, 2001, one of them years. She don't really like Tom Brady.
So this is your mom right here, correct?
Yeah, that's mom's right there.
Shout out to Mom. Thanks for tuning in.
For sure.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your son being here. He's a great young man and doing some big things. So shouts out to you, moms. Much love to you. Ms. Williams says Rams have a really good defense. And what's wild about the Rams is that before getting Von Miller, they had an issue against the run. But now their run defense has been pretty darn good. And then, of course, you have Jalen Ramsey already. Of course, Aaron Donald, the whole nine. So the defense is hidden, but it's all about that offense. And Matthew Stafford, he finally got that one win, that playoff win. So now it's about, okay, the monkey's off his back, the gorilla, whatever it is. Now, is he ready to just ball and do his thing? We shall see. And your mom says thank you. So no, once again, thank you. And this has been a great interview with your son. Let's keep going real quick before you go. Back to the playoff tree. Packers and 49ers, who you have?
Ooh. I say Packers.
All right. Titans and Bengals.
Packers. Let's go with the Titans, boy. What's the running back name?
Derrick Henry.
That's my boy. Yeah. We going with the Titans, baby. We going
And
with the
then
Titans, but I don't really care about the Bengals.
and then the rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year, the Chiefs versus the Bills. Who you got?
Man, to me, that's a walk in the park. Them Chiefs not gonna let it happen. Chiefs
Mm,
not gonna let it happen. They ain't gonna let it happen, bro. You got a healthy
interesting.
Mahomes ready to go, bro. What? Come on now, Tyreek. Come on now. They got a
That's what's up.
man. The Chiefs ain't gonna let that happen. They taking that
Well,
W.
we're gonna definitely find out, but I know you have to go. You got to do your Swoop Services. So, Terell,
Yeah, gotta go pick somebody up, take somebody drunk home real quick, take their car home for them. They had
hey,
a little too much to drink.
do your thing. Be safe out there, man, and let's definitely link up in the future. Love to come out to some games and have the platform Sports Talk show up and show out and
Oh yeah,
collaborate
that'd be
on some
dope.
stuff, man. So, thank you for your
Most definitely,
time.
man.
Be safe out there. Have a good one, brother.
You too, Smooth. Appreciate you.
All love, man.
All right, thank you. Peace out.
All right, that was our special guest, Terell Johnson, professional rugby player, Swoop Services, entertainer. You see him doing this thing. Make sure y'all give him a follow. Y'all see the promo. Follow him, show him love. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. I hope that you all have enjoyed yourselves. Shouts out to Joe for holding things down with me during the first hour. Shouts out to Stan. He's out of town right now in LA, about to catch a game at the crypto.com arena. Very soon. I think it's today. Let's see. Shouts out to my boy Jonathan. Had I missed it, but I'll be rewatching. Definitely do. Everyone can rewatch this stream as soon as the stream is over on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and then probably about an hour after the show is over, it'll be on Roku as well. So follow the Platform Sports Talk Show everywhere and just show us love. Let us know. Send me an email, platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com, and let me know who would you like to see on the show that we can have interviewed. It's going to be a great conversation no matter who it is. Y'all know how we do it. Good to show Wednesday night sports delight. Once again, thank you very much to Terell Johnson for joining us. He's a repeat guest on the show, and next week it doesn't change. As stated before, season 2 of Ladies Night goes down next month. Every first Wednesday of the month, Sharita, the return of Bunny. Of course, you have Joe and Annie, and then in March, every last Wednesday of the month, it's the Man Cave, the best Man Cave experience that you will ever have. I will be showing the panel of fellas that I'll be holding things down very soon. So stay tuned. Spread the word of the Platform Sports Talk Show, your Wednesday night sports delight. I am your boy Smooth. Y'all see my information on the screen, smoothproductions.com. You see all my social media links on that page. Show me some love in the club. Shouts out to my wifey, my SAW, Jayance. Ladies, if y'all ready to get snatched, get ready to get wasted, go to jamminwithjayance.com. JAMMIN with Jayonce, JAYONCE.com. Click shop and order your waist trainer. Not right now, but right now. Thank me later, or for real, thank her later, because y'all gonna be ready for the summertime. Like, let's get it on. So shouts out to her. Big things coming from us. All the support y'all shown me. Y'all shown us as a husband and wife. Y'all shown the Platform Sports Talk Show. Thank y'all very much. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy some football. Enjoy some basketball. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, you got the Royal Rumble coming to the Lou. That's going to be very exciting. So a lot of stuff is coming. And The Rock announced that pretty soon there'll be a very special announcement for the XFL. Will the Battlehawks be back? Cuckoo! We should find out very soon, y'all. On your Wednesday night sports delight. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Put in the Platform Sports Talk Show, You'll see us there on YouTube. Subscribe, click on that bell so anytime we go live, you, and you over there, you will be notified. It's your Wednesday night sports delight. When it's about sports, it becomes our business, and business continues to pick up. We out, right, we out. Ba-da-da-da-da.